Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello, everyone. My name is Sydney.
And my name is Mike. And today we are going to begin our two-day article looking at a place in England where everybody is clean and smells like flowers and their hair is always slightly wet because they live in Bath.
Yes, they live in Bath. Bath, the city.
The city.
The famous British city. Not like, not the tub.
Right.
But there is a city in Britain called Bath.
Exactly right. I said they live in Bath. I didn't say they live in their bath.
True.
That would be weird and your skin would be very soft and wrinkled. No, you don't want to do that. But if you do go to England for a holiday, or Britain, of course, then you definitely might want to think about putting Bath on your travel itinerary. This is not in London. This is west of London, I should say. And it's a very popular tourist spot. So I would say if you're planning a trip to Britain, Bath is a wonderful place to go, and it was a place you'll probably be suggested, your tour guide might say, and then we're going to spend a day or two in Bath.
Yeah, and you know what, for me, I don't know if you have ever seen the hit Netflix show Bridgerton.
The Bridgerton show.
You know the Bridgerton?
I know, yes. Novels first, right?
Yeah,
Books
novels,
first, and then a very popular
developed into a popular show.
Is that...
I do believe they filmed some of their scenes in Bath.
Interesting. That actually makes a lot of sense because Bridgerton is kind of inspired by those famous older books like Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, and Jane Austen, who wrote those books, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, famous books, famous TV shows and movies. She spent some time there, so it kind of looks like that. And that's actually one of the wonderful things about Bath. It is one of those towns that's kind of like a time machine, and even better than that, it is a time machine to different times in history. The Romans were the first people to settle in Bath thousands of years ago. And then, of course, Bridgerton, that would be like the 1800s, kind of that period. It also was a very fashionable town then. So you can get a really good view of these different parts of British history, all in one little town, the town of Bath. Or as we should really say, Bath.
Bath, yes.
Bath.
Should we put on our
going
British
to
accents? Bath, yes.
All right, so let's begin our article in Bath.
Let's begin. Let's start, darling.
Sounds jolly good.
All right, let's do it.
Bath is a city in the southwest of England that is famous for its ancient baths and historic buildings. Thanks to these well-known landmarks, the city is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Most of the main attractions are also within walking distance, so it is ideal for a short visit. The Romans first built Bath as a place to relax in natural hot springs. Today, the Roman baths are the most famous site in the city.
Okay, Bath, Britain at its best. And that's actually a good little title there because, as we said, it was an important city in different times in British history. And you can see buildings from those times, even going back to the ancient Romans in Bath to this day. So it is kind of the best of British history in one little town. So let's find out what it says. It says, Bath is a city in the southwest of England that is famous for its ancient baths and historic buildings. That's a really good way to sum it all up. It's in the southwest of England. Basically, you'll find London, go due west, kind of heading towards Ireland, I guess, and it's about 2.5 hours. So you definitely have to take a bus or a train or something to get there. You cannot get there on the tube, on the London MRT system, but it is a very historic place. Something that is historic is basically famous to history or important in history. All right, so we often talk about buildings and places being historic. This is a historic battlefield where hundreds of years ago, a great war, a great battle took place. And of course, these older countries in Europe, in Japan, China, places with a long history will have many historic buildings, many places that were built a long time ago or places where things happened a long time ago and they're important to history. For example, Zoe took pictures of a historic bridge in the city, maybe like Tower Bridge in London or something like that.
Yeah, all right. Now, thanks to these well-known landmarks, the city is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of old stuff there. And of course, UNESCO World Heritage Site means, it's kind of recognized and it's an important place that tourists will want to go. I think they also have kind of rules that you can't change it too much.
I was going to say, I guess that means I have to kind of keep most of the things kind of as they are for the most part.
Exactly, kind of protect it. So future generations, including us and our grandchildren and whatnot, can still enjoy it. So isn't that great? I think Hanny will become a famous UNESCO protected personage.
I was thinking the same exact thing. We love her, we want to honor her and protect her and never change.
Never change, Hanny. You're perfect as you are.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次要介绍的旅游地点是英格兰西南部的城市 Bath。巴斯，它以古老浴池还有历史建筑闻名。那凭借这些知名地标，巴斯受到联合国教科文组织的保护，被列为世界文化遗产。单字 historic， 它可以形容具有重大历史意义的，或是历史上著名的，或是历史悠久的。Mike 老师在讲解单字时有提到 battlefield， 它是指战场。那这边有两个重点，第一个是At one's best 表示在最佳状态表现最好的时候，可以用在人或事物。用在人就是指身心或表现达到巅峰状态，那用在事物是指品质或表现达到最高水准。举例来说 ，Richard is an early bird. He's at his best in the morning. Richard 是早起的人，他在早上是处于最佳状态。比较一个用法是 at best 表示充其量。最多也不过是怎么样，这通常带有保留、贬低或是无奈的语气，用来说明在最理想情况下也只是如此。例如 The project won't be finished for another month at best. 在最理想情况下，这项专案也要再1个月才能完成，最快就是1个月了。好，那第二个重点是 thanks to 加名词，表示由于、多亏或是凭借，它是片语介系词，后面接名词或名词片语，这常用来表示正面的原因，不过呢，也可以用来反讽。我们就看2个例句。Thanks to your help, I was able to solve the problem successfully. 多亏了你的帮忙，我才能顺利解决问题。Thanks to you, we now have to do it all over again. 拜你所赐，我们现在全都要重做了。好，那么比较一个用法是 due to 也可以表达由于因为，可以当补语用。这时候它的用法是 be due to 加上名词或动名词，表达是因为怎么样怎么样。那么 thanks to 就没有这样的用法了。例如 The delay was due to heavy fog. 延误是因为起了浓雾。那接回到课文中。
Okay, so we're traveling to Bath. We've gotten there. It's not too far from London, but you'll hop on a train or a bus. And what are you going to do once you get there? Well, the good news is, as we mentioned, this is not a big city. All right, so as it says, most of the main attractions are also within walking distance, so it is ideal for a short visit. Yes, Bath is definitely not a place you need like 5 days or a week. You can probably see most of the things in one day. Maybe go one day, spend a night, enjoy it the next day, and then you can go off somewhere else. And that's great. It's very small, so everything is within walking distance. Bring some comfortable shoes, but you won't have to worry about buses and trains and subways or taxis. You can find your way around very easily.
That's good. Sounds
tourist
like,
friendly.
Yeah, very tourist friendly. It sounds very convenient. That must be very, very nice.
Cool.
All right. Now, it says here that the Romans, like you mentioned before, the Romans first built Bath as a place to relax in natural hot springs. Oh, okay. Today, the Roman baths are the most famous site in the city. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay. So it says that the Romans kind of built Bath as a place to relax. So when we're talking about relaxing, we mean just kind of like calmly doing nothing, maybe you want to take a bath, you want to relax at the beach, you want to sit by the pool with a good book, you want to relax with a movie or an audiobook or a podcast, or in this case, you want to relax and kind of breathe in, breathe out, and take a deep breath in a nice natural hot spring, right? So we could say, Wyatt likes to relax with a cup of tea.
Oh, that's a good way to relax.
Yes, and that's very British, with a cup of tea.
Yes, a little cup of tea, maybe read a little book or something like that, and just chill, baby.
And chill and relax,
Just relax. All right, we have Hanny, so let's go over to her, and then we'll come back. So not the time to relax now.
Not yet.
Now is the time to listen to what Hanny has to say.
巴斯大多数的主要景点走路就可以到了，很适合短期的造访。那罗马人最初是把巴斯建造为一个沐浴天然温泉、放松身心的地方。那如今罗马浴场是整个城市最知名的景点。Relax 这个动词就表示放松、使放松或休息。那这条课文中。
Okay, guys, that's the first part of our look at Bath. Remember, this is a 2-day article, so we have lots to learn. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to learn more about Bath's Roman period.
The complex has a large pool at its center. Hot water flows into it from deep underground. Although you cannot swim in it, you can still learn about its importance in the daily life of Roman Britain. Bath Abbey, a large and beautiful church, stands next to the baths. It features tall windows and a stone ceiling with a pattern that looks like open fans. On the outside walls, there are carvings of angels on ladders. Visitors can even take a tour to the top of the tower for great views of the city.
All right, we are back and we are going to keep learning a little bit more about the city of Bath and its baths and all of its natural hot springs. So the complex has a large pool at its center, meaning has a large pool center, meaning in the middle, and hot water flows into it from deep underground. Oh.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Britain is not a place known for earthquakes and volcanoes. So having, a natural spring like we have a lot of here in Taiwan, right? Up in Beitou, Yanmingshan, Yilan. It's kind of an unusual place, and the Romans were famous for taking baths. So this was naturally a place that they're like, hey, we can build a big bath there like we have in Rome and other places, and we can keep ourselves nice and clean. And that's what they did. It says, although you cannot swim in it, you can still learn about its importance in the daily life of Roman Britain. So this is not a working bath. It's kind of like a living museum, right? It's a lot of the old building is still there. You can go in, you can walk around. There's that nice big pool. I seem to remember when I was there, the water in the pool was kind of green. It wasn't really inviting you to dive in. It was sort of like, someone's got to clean the swimming pool, guys, because it's a little dirty. But yes, baths were still very important back in the age of Roman Britain, when the town of Bath was known as Aquae Sulis. That's what the Romans used to call it. And aqua, right? Aquarium. Yeah. They actually had the word water in the name of the town. So we call it Bath, they call it Aquae Sulis. But of course, it was a place. They had lots of baths, and you can visit them today, but don't bring your swimming suit and a towel. You won't need them. All right, let's go over to Hanny. We're going to jump in to find out what she has to tell us about.
课文提到，整座浴场的中央是一座大池，有地底深处的热水涌入。虽然不能在里面游泳，但是游客还是可以深入了解它在罗马不列颠时期日常生活中所扮演的重要角色。那文中用到 complex 来指那整座浴场。complex 这个名词可以指复合式建筑，通常是具有某种特殊功能或作用。那这条课文中。
All right, we are back and we're going to continue along with our article. Okay. So it says here, Bath Abbey, a large and beautiful church, stands next to the baths. Okay. It features tall windows and a stone ceiling with a pattern that looks like open fans.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, very interesting.
Okay, so this would probably not be from the Roman period, from hundreds of years later, but they built a really big church there, an abbey, and in fact, an abbey, I believe, is a place where monks will live.
Oh.
Right, so it would be a church, but it would also have monks, men who had sort of given their life to serving God. They would also make their home there, and many towns would have an abbey along with the church, and that is right next to the baths. We mentioned it's an easy city to get around in. Look at this, two amazing places, and they're neighbors. They're right next to each other. Here's another interesting design that you can notice. On the outside walls of the abbey, there are carvings of angels on ladders. I guess the angels were painting that day or changing a light bulb.
Right.
Or something
my mind is going to maybe the angels are trying to ascend back to heaven.
I think that's probably it. I don't think they're
the first
changing
thing.
light bulbs. I think they're probably climbing to heaven.
Yeah.
Because, of course, angels are like God's messengers. If you believe in Christianity or read stories in the Bible, you often see angels, and they're often going around sending messages. When God needs to talk to someone, he'll send an angel, kind of like an email or something like that. And of course, yes, we also see them in art. They're often depicted as maybe children with little wings or something like that. And yeah, they go around helping God out in his work in the world. For example, in the story, angels watch over the little child. And yes, some people might say, I have a guardian angel. I could have died in that car crash, but my angel, my guardian angel, protected me.
Yeah, exactly. And it also says that the angels were essentially on ladders. So a ladder is basically just a step stool or a tool that we use to climb up and down, high places, right?
There you go.
So for example, we could say, we used a ladder to reach the top of the wall. Very normal. If you want to hang a painting in your home, or you need to, hang some Christmas lights when you at least in America, when you hang Christmas lights on your roof, you have to use a ladder to come up and down.
There you go. Unless you know someone who is in the NBA, you probably need a ladder at some time in your life.
Absolutely. All right. It says here that visitors can even take a tour to the top of the tower for great views of the city.
I like tours to the tops of towers.
That sounds so fun. Yes. The views must be incredible up there.
I know, right? And with the Roman baths right next to you. Imagine that having that view down into the bath. And of course, a tower is a tall building. It's a tall building that was usually built, or back in the old days, it was built to look out for danger, right? We often have towers on the corners of a castle, and they would put soldiers up there, or in certain towns, they might have towers just to see if there's anything bad going on out there. This is, of course, before we had airplanes, helicopters, and drones. If you wanted to go somewhere really, really tall to see the earth in a way that most people can't, you would build a tower, often of stone, but of course, later on metal, the Eiffel Tower, I think a lot of people have heard of. For example, the tower was the tallest building in the village. So this is probably an old village in Europe or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Hanny. She towers over everyone else in her knowledge of English grammar. She's a giant.
浴场的旁边是巴斯修道院，它是一座宏伟美丽的教堂，外墙还刻有天使立于梯上的浮雕。游客就可以参加导览行程，登上塔楼顶端去眺望城市美景。单字 angel 是指天使 ，Mike 老师说的 guardian angel 就是守护天使或是守护神。再来看 ladder， 它是梯子 ，tower 是指塔楼或是塔，不过它也可以当动词来表达高耸、耸立。刚刚 Mike 老师说的 tower over 或是用 tower above 后面可以接人或事物来表达矗立在什么之上，比什么高，或者是远胜于比什么还优秀。介华课文中。
All right, everyone, that wraps up day one of our lesson about Bath.
Okay.
But remember, like you said before, this is a 2-day article.
Is.
So we do have a lot more information about the lovely city of Bath to talk to you about tomorrow. So please stick around so we can keep going about our lesson tomorrow.
Sounds good. We will be back after, well, I'm going to take a shower tonight.
Oh, you're not going
I'd like to take a bath. I don't have a bath.
No bath
I
for the
only,
lesson
I
on
only
Bath?
have a shower. Maybe we can visit the town of Shower next month.
Maybe we should.
There is no town of Shower, so I guess we have to take a bath.
I guess we have to take a bath.
And we will tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bath is a city in the southwest of England that is famous for its ancient baths and historic buildings. Thanks to these well-known landmarks, the city is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Most of the main attractions are also within walking distance, so it is ideal for a short visit. The Romans first built Bath as a place to relax in natural hot springs. Today, the Roman baths are the most famous site in the city. The complex has a large pool at its center. Hot water flows into it from deep underground. Although you cannot swim in it, you can still learn about its importance in the daily life of Roman Britain. Bath Abbey, a large and beautiful church, stands next to the baths. It features tall windows and a stone ceiling with a pattern that looks like open fans. On the outside walls, there are carvings of angels on ladders. Visitors can even take a tour to the top of the tower for great views of the city.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 historic 是形容具有重大历史意义的、历史上著名的、历史悠久的。relax 动词表示使放松、休息。angel 名词是指天使。ladder 名词是指梯子。tower 也是名词，表示塔楼或是塔。文法的部分，第一个学到 at one's best 表示在最佳状态、表现最好的时候。第二个学到 thanks to 加名词，表示由于、多亏或凭借。那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
If you're visiting the Dakeng scenic area and suddenly feel like grabbing a bite to eat, you're in luck. Just head over to the Dakeng traffic circle and see what they have to offer. Located near the entrance of Dakeng scenic area, the Dakeng traffic circle is easy to spot, marked by notable features such as the iconic Bishop Wood Tree, Fude Temple, and Dongsan Police Station. Once a key route to the mountains, the area is now lined with shops offering local delicacies. One popular spot is Dongdong Taro Ball, famous for its shaved ice and handmade taro balls. Visitors can also find several restaurants serving fresh and flavorful free-range chicken dishes. Another local favorite is Bamboo Country, which specializes in cuisine made with bamboo shoots. Whether you're exploring landmarks or craving a tasty treat, the Dakeng Traffic Circle offers something for everyone. Not only can you enjoy the beautiful sights of the Dakeng scenic area, but you can also enjoy delicious food at the Dakeng Traffic Circle. That's killing two birds with one stone.